Hello, my name's Callie, and this is my presentation slash website of Sweden's economy. On the homepage, we can find a bit of background information that's important to Sweden, along with what this presentation is for. Clicking over to the Resources tab, we can see a number of things. We can see land resources, labor resources, capital resources, and entrepreneurial ability. I'm only going to go through a few of these. For land resources, it's important to note that Sweden is a rocky climate near the border of Norway, and it's mostly in the mountains, and a big quantity of natural resources can be found here. This includes iron, steel, copper, lead, zinc, and a bunch of others. Sweden also supplies energy through hydropower, which they are known for, and almost 1/5 of Sweden's lakes have been damaged by acidification. So they use a lot of runoff from the mountains for natural running water, and the water needs minimal purification for this. And it also has put plans into place to ensure water quality for Sweden. Sweden has free market capitalism and extensive welfare benefits. These benefits are very important to those who live in Sweden. Their free market capitalism has an account surplus of about 5% of GPD. Which is one of the highest margins in Europe. And Swedish prices and wages have grown only slightly in the last few years, and this is mainly due to the pandemic of COVID-19, which is amazing to see that their wages and prices weren't impacted negatively like some countries. But Sweden did take a catastrophic hit in terms of death due to COVID. Switching over to our next tab, we have current events and PPC graphs. For the current event, Sweden had an important rare earth discovery, which raised a hope towards a shift towards renewable energy. Sweden had discovered a large reserve of rare earth elements vital to renewable energy and electric vehicles, and this will enable them to limit their consumption of iron ore, which is one of their natural resources. So we can see the PPC graph right here. We have PPC 1, this was before the new findings, and we can see that it shifted outwards after the new findings. So this is very important, and this is a positive impact due to the discovery. Switching over to the next tab, we have economic statistics and goals. The greatest worry Sweden has right now is the unemployment rate. It had increased by 3.37%, and this percentage is a lot when it comes to unemployment, as many individuals will not be working and giving back to the economy. But their greatest threat is inflation, shooting up by 1.6%, almost 1.7%. So we can see here the difference between 2020 and 2021. Obviously, 2021, the inflation rate had increased as well as the unemployment rate. Per capita GDP had also increased as well as GDP growth, which is that. We can see a little bit on inflation rate right here, unemployment rate. We can see a little on GDP, per capita GDP, and GDP growth, and a few pictures. Switching over to our policy tab, we have the fiscal policy, which is called the budget bill, and it is a proposal for central government budget revenue and expenditure for the upcoming fiscal year. We can see here we have a little bit of a link to go and view their budget bill for 2023, and then as well we can see a graph right here that kind of describe what's going on. Switching over to monetary policy, their objective is to maintain permanently low and stable inflation. They also try to contribute to a balanced development of production and unemployment with the monetary policy. So we can see here we have another link, which we can go and we can view, and we have another graph. Switching over to international trade, Sweden has many trading partners when it comes to imports and exports. We can see that the imports' top trading partners are Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, and China. And for their exports, it's Germany, Norway, the United States, Denmark, and Finland. Sweden is a member of the EU, which stands for European Union, and does not conclude any free trade agreements. Their top imports and exports are basically the same. We have car and vehicle parts, packaged medicine, refined petroleum, crude petroleum, so imports and exports are kind of the same, which I thought was kind of funny. I said that their pattern of trade didn't make much sense, as they are importing the same things as they are exporting. Now, there may be a reason for this, but looking into it, it doesn't make any logical sense. Sweden should be exporting materials that they have abundance of and importing materials that they are lacking. For economic sanctions, Sweden does not have any of its own nationally adopted sanctions. However, Sweden's government had called for the EU to impose tougher and more far-reaching sanctions on Russia in 2022, right around the time Russia began attacking/declared war on Ukraine. So that is an important thing to note. And last but not least, we have our resources tab. And yeah, that is it.